Cool. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Great. Yeah, so again, thank you very much for the invitation. I'm really happy to be here with you guys. I would like to give you an introduction about a short introduction about mixed reality and HoloLens 2 technology and how we can and display also some use cases. What is the technology? And I will, yeah, give you a practical example how I currently I'm using the HoloLens technology and mixed reality in bringing cultural heritage back to life. So I'm Zaid Zaim. I am a Microsoft MVP for Windows development, specialized in mixed reality and HoloLens. I would like to take you with me on a journey. Um, beginning, beginning in Damascus in Syria to Berlin, and then back to Syria to the city of Palmyra, one of the ancient cities, a Roman ancient city that got destroyed in the war in Syria. And we will see how we can use mixed reality to bring it back to life. So my name is Zaid Zaim. I grew up in the city of Damascus in Syria. Around 8.5 years ago, I came to Germany together with my family. We needed to flee Syria, flee Damascus because of the war that is currently in our country and coming to Germany. So when I was a child in Syria, I had a great passion for mixed reality and for technology and computers, and I really loved playing computer games with my friends, brother, and playing together. And yeah, and this developed in me an interest to see how such games could be developed and to get to know what is actually behind these games, behind this technology. So in 2017, I came to Germany. I joined Ready School of Digital Integration, an NGO that supports newcomers and refugees learn quality skills in tech to support them integrate into the IT job world in Germany. Ready School expanded today for to different regions like Berlin, Munich, Copenhagen, and North Rhine-Westphalia, an industrial city in Germany. At Ready School, I had the chance to learn about programming, fundamentals of programming, and really having the opportunity at this time to dive into technology and to start realizing my dream that I had a child with when I was a child. So mentors at Ready School or the teachers at Ready School are actually teachers or let's say are volunteers, volunteer teachers who are not real teachers. So they come from the tech sector, from tech companies like Microsoft, Bosch, Fraunhofer, Cisco, and you name it. And they have the passion actually to share with you their knowledge. So I had the chance to meet their one mentor from Microsoft. He's a cloud solution architect named Matthias, who invited me to join hackathons with him and other Ready students to get to know new skills and apply the newly learned skills, the theoretical skills, in practical projects and to get to know new technologies. So these are two images I brought with me today from the IoT hackathon that took place in 2018 and from the BVG hackathon in Berlin that took place in 2020. The BVG is the public transportation company in Berlin, so for clarification. So at the IoT hackathon, um, this was for me the first opportunity actually to get working together with with experts of with the teams of with expert teams who are into the mixed reality technology, who are really developers. And at that time, I had really no clue what is a HoloLens, what is mixed reality. So I joined this team. My mentor from Microsoft borrowed me a HoloLens and allowed me to play with this on the weekend with. And yeah, and in this hackathon, I had really the opportunity to get to know what is a practical technology and to dive behind the mixed reality and the HoloLens and learning first steps for how we can develop first applications, first POCs based on mixed reality and HoloLens. So what we worked on actually is basically developing a POC, how we can create holographic surveillance for factories, remote factory surveillance based on the HoloLens. Exactly. I'm mentioning actually different times mixed reality and HoloLens and still did not define this. So I will be coming to this in a few seconds.
Meeting and my phone.
Exactly. Hello? Yeah, thanks. Exactly. So this is one of the experience that really changed with me. And then here in 2021, I had the chance to dive more into mixed reality in my spare time, and then joined together with a teammate consisting of ready students and other expert developers in the BVG hackathon in Berlin, learning how we can enhance public transportation solution with augmented reality and demonstrating a perspective how we can use hopefully in the near future AR technologies, mixed reality, demonstrating this with the mixed reality and the HoloLens technology, showing how we can enhance public transportation information in 3D. So, for example, when you are in a train station, you can wear the HoloLens or your AI device, and then, for example, get a 3D representation of where you are currently at by pointing this, for example, on the map of the public transportation map, and get somehow visual representation of the city. So really, these experiences that I gathered developed in me the interest and the passion for getting more and more involved in this technology. And I started sharing my knowledge, my expertise, and learning more and more about different technologies and mixed reality and HoloLens by giving workshops, for example, for tech communities, tech interested people, in this case at Ready School, for example, and beyond, teaching the participants how they can develop their first augmented reality game with Unity 3D. And Unity 3D is a game development software that allows you to develop games for augmented reality, 3D games, AR, and VR, virtual reality. So yeah, really showing the participants the basics and also showing them some demos with the HoloLens, with mixed reality, and giving a perspective what this field is being in the near future, in the hope that these people can develop an interest and motivation to work and work more towards this field. So I always aim in such workshops, you cannot really teach people how to become a software developer, but really the difference is sharing your passion, your motivation for creating new projects within modern technologies. So this is actually in a nutshell how my story, how I came into mixed reality and how I got working with the HoloLens. And now, sorry for this, I mentioned different times mixed reality and HoloLens without defining this technology. So for now, I would like to give somehow a perspective, what is actually mixed reality, what is the HoloLens, what use cases are there, and exactly, let's jump into this. Mixed reality is actually shaping our world nowadays. We see here a small, short development, the evolution that computing has, from having the huge computers to the laptops to smartphones in around the 2000, 2007, when the revolution with Apple, with mobile phones, smartphones, this came, and today we have mixed reality that is allowing us to enhance our real world with digital content, as if so we can collaborate and work remotely, for example. And this is becoming day by day, time by time, a trend. So exactly. So mixed reality, to define the term mixed reality, we need first to elaborate what is actually reality. Reality means everything what we can perceive with our human senses, to having a tangible experience, what we can perceive, and having awareness from our real world. So mixed realities actually consist of two categories, the virtual reality and augmented reality. So in virtual reality, the user is completely immersed in a virtually computer-created world, generated world, where his awareness, his perceivance of the real world is completely isolated. So you're completely in this virtual world. You can hang out with awesome celebrities in their places. You can travel to Mars, and you name it. In augmented reality, we enhance the real world with digital content. So we overlay digital content into the physical world. So overlaying just means like this. Okay, so this is the physical world. This is augmented reality. This is the digital content. So when we want to come to mixed reality, means it is a fusion, let's say like this, it's a fusion between virtual reality and augmented reality. So in this case, we have here the HoloLens technology. It has here, we can wear it normally on our head, wearing it as a normal headset, as a normal, yeah, you name it, like a helmet, like a cap, something like this, and you can perceive the real world. So I can see you now normally. The HoloLens has sensors on the front that can represent the real world digitally in 3D and in the background. So the HoloLens scans the real world and allows you then to integrate digital content into the physical world, as if this is part of our reality, of our physical world. So the HoloLens also has hand tracking technology that allows allows the users to interact with objects as if they are interacting with real physical objects. So actually, you don't have any controllers or anything else. You are interacting with the objects really with your hands. And all of these things is so integrating the digital content into the physical world is enabled through the spatial mapping, the spatial awareness that the HoloLens creates for perceiving the real world. So exactly. So here we have another representation showing the comfortableness of the HoloLens. As mentioned, you really wear it as if you are wearing a headset. And here in the front, we have the different sensors that recognize the world, that that allow us then to integrate the digital content in this. Later on, I will be showing a demo on this. So there is actually also the HoloLens 1. The HoloLens 2 arrived in late 2019, and we have here with the HoloLens 2 a wider field of view, which allow us to perceive more of the digital content from our use cases, from our applications. Here, and again, the example, so with the HoloLens 1, you had this really small rectangular, and in the HoloLens 2, we have a wider field of view that allows us having more an immersive feeling of the environment. Also, the HoloLens 2 has spatial audio that adds more and more to the immersiveness of this in this technology. We have here also an example how we interact with objects. Really, we are really able to interact with it as if it is a really normal object. So we can play the slide again. So here again is the Earth, and then really we are able to grab it and increase it and have a look at it. So, for example, on this animation, we are seeing a virtual object is hovering over our hand, and this is really enabled through the hand tracking and the gesture recognition of the HoloLens 2. So coming now to where and how mixed reality is used in our what use cases HoloLens is applied in. So we have at the beginning here training and development, so and field service. These are more or less categorized together. So in this case, you have a trainee, for example, who is based on the other side of the world. So let's say you guys are based in Nigeria, I'm based here in Berlin, and then you have here in Nigeria, for example, a machine that is defect currently in your factory, and then you would have, for example, the HoloLens. You would wear it on your head, and you call me, for example, and then as an expert, as a technician, we would then together find a quick solution to your problem. So in this case, using different use cases from Microsoft like Remote Assist and Guides, we'll have a look at it in a bit, allow us to really quickly solve problems together. In this case, I would really, for example, draw for you in 3D exactly where and how you could come to solve this problem and guide you through this challenge. So in 3D, so this would be really overlaid over your machine. So this is an example in training and development and field service. We have also healthcare, where doctors would wear a HoloLens, for example, and would have a visual representation of different important information, like having a CT scan of a patient lying in front of you, and this would be, for example, directly overlaid over this person. This is also enabling. There are also some applications like an anatomy solution, which allows medical students and doctors wear the HoloLens and have real representation of the human body and the anatomy of the human body visually represented in 3D, which is actually in the past was not able. So really here, this imagination, this dream is coming true. We have design and prototyping. So in this case, You want to design, for example, your kitchen or your future home, for example. You wear a HoloLens, and for example, you can start bringing in your furnitures in there. You can maybe combine this with Sims, a game that we used to play in our childhood, maybe designing our dream home, dream kitchen, and bringing this experience, this enhancement to your real world. So in this case, you're going into your empty future new home and enhancing this with the digital content, bringing everything in there. We have also education, and this is, for example, the best example is, for example, when you are in a chemistry lesson in school, you don't have, for example, always the imagination or the visual representation of how the different chemical elements are. So here you would be, for example, having a visual representation in 3D showing you how the different periodic elements are consisted in 3D. So this is also revolutionizing education. Productivity and collaboration. So this would also join field service, training and development. So in this case, we have another solution called Microsoft Mesh that allows people to join together wearing immersive headsets like HoloLens or AR devices, VR devices to find solution together, hang out together virtually. You would have an avatar representation of the users. Exactly. So this is actually a small example how and where mixed reality and HoloLens is applied in. So here we have, again, the concrete example how training and field service is applied in. We have here the Dynamics 365 remote assist. And here we have then a video showing what, for example, the technician, the expert on the one side of the earth, like here in Berlin, is explaining something. I would enhance your your field of view with some useful PDF, 3D representation here like arrows, and showing you, guiding you how to come to the solution. Exactly. So we have also different Azure mixed reality services. Azure is the cloud service of Microsoft, the cloud computing platform of Microsoft. So we have here also different Azure services for mixed reality, like Azure Spatial Anchors, that allows you to place anchors, as the name says, and to remember, to make the device, to make the HoloLens remember specific places that you were in, for example. And these anchors, these information would be then deployed to the cloud and everything. Every time you're at this specific place, your digital content will always stay at its place. Another service is the Azure Remote Rendering service, which allows the HoloLens to render complex 3D objects, high quality and interactive 3D content. So as the HoloLens is not a high or a supercomputer, the Azure Remote Rendering allows us then to render the 3D content in the Azure cloud and then stream it back to the HoloLens. And the whole rendering, creating of the individual 3D pieces is happening in the cloud, and this gets streamed then to the HoloLens. So you would be able really to enhance the experience through showing different details. Here we have also, last but not least, Azure object anchors, which allow us, for example, here to really recognize, for example, here a car. Here having a use case car inspection, where technicians are enhancing through object detection and object anchors this specific car motor. This digital content is recognized by, or this physical content is really recognized by the HoloLens, as we have these 3D anchors and enhancing these with a HoloLens. So we have here the virtual representation, for example, what is happening inside of this motor and how we can together come to different solutions together. So for now, that was the short introduction, an introduction about mixed reality, different use cases, in general, having an introduction about what is mixed reality, what is HoloLens, different services that on Azure that we can integrate in our mixed reality solutions, and having concrete examples on solutions by Microsoft, showing remote assist, guides, and Microsoft Mesh that bring us all together, collaborating, coming to solutions all together. For now, let's jump to the Mixed Reality for Cultural Heritage project that allow us to bring cultural heritage back to life. For now, let's jump into Palmyra in the year, or let's go back in time to 2000. It's for the year 2007. Here we can see me and my family, me as a kid, visiting together with my family the ancient city of Palmyra, experiencing the monuments when they were alive, when they were in their original form. My sister and I went through these monuments together with our family, took a deep impression about the beauty of these monuments and their wonderful beauty and getting to know their history. Palmyra was a settlement in the middle of the Syrian desert, an oasis city that is more than 4,000 years old. Different cultures from India, China, and other traders went through the Silk Road, through Palmyra. They exchanged their goods in Palmyra with other traders and which made the city at that time, in ancient times, a wealthy city. So the wealth of the city made then different rulers and their people attracted for Palmyra, coming to Palmyra from different rulers and their people coming to Palmyra, like the Romans, the Persians, and later the Arabs. The wealth of the city reflected in its monuments and artifacts, like a Roman triumphal arch, a Roman amphitheater, temple to honor the god of Bel, and many other monuments and artifacts that outstand it for thousands of years. This is Khaled al-Assad, one of the most important archaeologists and former museum director of the city. Khaled al-Assad took care of the ancient monuments of Palmyra for around 40, 35 years, drawing the attention of the visitors of Palmyra and the viewers of the ancient monuments to objects of the past. This is what we call simplified creating historical awareness, which means drawing our attention to objects of the past. Also, when the viewers and the visitors interact with these monuments, means haptically touching these monuments, viewing the beauty of these monuments, having some historical insights narrated to them, explaining the wonder of these monuments and the importance of it. This allows us to enhance the historical awareness in the viewer, and hopefully the viewer develop a feeling of beauty and interest to preserve or to keep these monuments alive. In 2015, ISIS occupied Palmyra and kidnapped Khalid al-Assad. They wanted to know where are the valuable treasures of Palmyra, and they kidnapped al-Assad to know where are the valuable treasures of the city. And when al-Assad refused sharing the valuable treasures, the valuable information about the city, and decided that he wanted to defend his city, the ancient monuments that who was raised in this city, ISIS executed him publicly, beheaded him, and started destroying the city and Palmyra systematically. See the Roman ancient monument, the ancient theater of Palmyra, a place that reflects culture and where beautiful pieces of music has been played. But in the last few years, 2016, 2017, this place became a place of execution. Here we can see a picture of the Roman theater before and after the destruction. After ISIS left this place, they exploded its facade. We have here a picture before and after the destruction. Here we see the Triumphal Arch of Palmyra. Again, a picture before and after the destruction. We almostly cannot recognize anything from this monument. Here we can see the Temple of Balchamine, the detonation of this monument. When we think for a moment, these monuments and artifacts outstanded thousands of years of wars and natural catastrophes. But the war in Syria has destroyed these monuments and stole the hope from the Syrian people. Such a destruction and annihilation of cultural heritage is not allowed to continue. This is when an idea emerged to my mind in late 2019, connecting my personal experience with a newly learned mixed reality technology. My aim and goal is to bring Palmyra's cultural heritage back to life through visualizing the monuments of Palmyra with mixed reality and HoloLens, and through different interaction possibilities that the user experience actively in the mixed reality experience, allows then the users to develop, hopefully, a historical awareness and a motivation for a future reconstruction. And then in this way, we can bring the cultural heritage of Palmyra currently virtually back to life, and hopefully one day, stone by stone. For this idea, I were able to magnetize people from different backgrounds like technology, design, and culture, and supported by Ready School, Microsoft, and Tactile Studio, we enhanced together this project and brought it alive, bringing the antique monuments of Palmyra. So we can see here global enthusiasts, tech enthusiasts are interested bringing the culture of Palmyra together back to life, interested in cultural heritage, bringing and modern technology, fusioning in this project together, bringing Palmyra back to life. So beginning in Syria to Berlin, to Chile, to Sweden, to Berlin, to Brazil, to India, to Italy, to Mexico, to Canada, and to France, all of us bringing the cultural heritage in mixed reality back to life. So the project is currently open source in since August. Maybe the next person joining us on this journey is you guys. So you are more than welcome to join us on this journey. It doesn't depend what skills you have, but really the motivation, the interest brings everything together. So hopefully having people from you guys joining us on this journey. Here we have also a visual representation how our solution, our project could be implemented in a museum, in a tech incubator or any institute, bringing Palmyra collaboratively different users back to life. We also thought about the accessibility and inclusion topic. That's why here we have a 3D tactile table containing the different monuments of Palmyra that people who are in accessibility needs, blind people, for example, could haptically interact with these monuments and at the same time, through the HoloLens, get at least through sound, through tones, a representation of what they are seeing, what they are interacting with. So I have also a video of the project. So yeah, I would say let's have a look on it in action. I need to mute. Exactly. So here I'm activating the app on the HoloLens. We are seeing the holographic menu. And here we starting the application. For anchoring the experience, we have also a QR code that anchors the whole experience. And now we can scan the QR code. After we scan, hopefully, the code in a bit, we get a panel that the user can interact with. So on the one hand, we see here a representation of our globe that refers to Syria. And we get, for example, now a 3D representation of Syria. Here we want to integrate some, in the background, some historical facts that narrate about the geographic importance and about Syria in ancient times. We see also here a reference on the city of Palmyra that we can get now in a bit a visual representation of the ancient city in 3D, containing the different monuments and artifacts. For now, we visualized the Temple of Balchamine, the beauty of Palmyra and sculpture. and the Arc of Triumph of Palmyra that we saw at the beginning completely destroyed. Here we would interact with the beauty of Palmyra. We saw, again, grabbed it normally, and then unfortunately this artifact is completely destroyed. So thanks to the hand tracking technology that allows the user to really interact with this artifact, with this monument, bringing it really back to life and having an active involvement of the user within the experience. Here we have also, again, a picture on the right side of the sculpture reflecting how people in Palmyra were and how they were. The wealth of the cities, for example, reflected there as the beauty of Palmyra, containing different jewelries worn on her. So when we are done with this interaction, we can bring this object back on the map and grab another monument to interact with. We have here the Arc of Triumph of Palmyra. We can scale the monument and have a virtual background, in this case, to show the desert a little bit in it, integrating these physical content, this virtual content, virtual digital content into the real physical world. So here we have also a timeline represented currently as a slider where the user is able to interact with to see the evolution of the monument. So from the construction enhanced with some pictures showing the evolution of the monument, we see here at the beginnings that this monument is being eroded through the nature, but when we reach the recent times around 2016, 2017 in a bit, the monument gets completely destroyed. No? Exactly. So again, here visual representation in 3D that give us a deep impression about this monument. In the background, we would have also some music, some sound playing that give us more a feeling on how the atmosphere is, bring us more and more into this into the context. We can also interact, grab the monument, and also enhance it and scale it to have a feeling as if we are going in and out the monument, for example. We can see here the different ornaments and decorations that we took into consideration in modeling them that tell the history of this monument, bringing it back to life. These monuments, these decorations, these ornaments tell also the history of this object. Here, for example, on the gate, that give us a feeling of the beauty of this monument and artifact. So for now, for example, last but not least, we have the Temple of Balchamine, where we saw the horrible detonation of it previously, virtually here having it brought back to life. We can scale it, having on the side some pictures representing the state of it, and virtually we can also recreate the different states of this object. currently here, virtually destroyed. But thanks to modern technology, we are able to bring this monument, an artifact, back to life by interacting, for example, with these colored pieces, bringing them through the hints that we have back into their place, placed now virtually, bringing again the user as an active character in the experience. Here, step by step, stone by stone, bringing the monument virtually back to life. We have here also the opportunity to rebuild the monument, to see it in the state before the destruction. Here, a very important aspect about the Temple of Balchamine, how a tree grew up in there. So this is a very significant fact, how a tree is able actually to grow up in a temple or in such a structure or a building. Finally, we have here the last interaction possibility. We can interact. Yeah, we can view the monument first from different perspectives. And here we have a 3D character recreated of myself, representing in the future people who could navigate us through the monuments, tell the history about the monuments, and tell their stories and their experiences, what they were feeling when they visited this specific object, this monument. And such experiences we cannot really get from a book, from an article or something. So having this immersive 3D narration of a person from Palmyra or from this ancient city could bring you more and more in developing the historical awareness. So this was the live demo. We saw that we were able, this was an example on how we can use mixed reality and HoloLens 2 technology as a sustainable solution, bringing cultural heritage back to life. Able to address different senses like auditive, vision, and haptic. We would maybe define this as virtual haptic. Through the hand tracking, we were very active in the experience, bringing these monuments back to life. Let's hope together that one day I would like to invite you to join me on this journey, bringing the antique monuments of Palmyra, currently today, back to life, and hopefully when the war in Syria finds an end, together, or at least maybe we can lead ways to find ways to bring these structures, these monuments and artifacts back to life. Thank you very much for having me. And yeah, I would love to stay in touch with you guys, and everyone is more than welcome to join me on this journey. Yep, so that's it from my side. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Zid. That was a very, very eye-opening and insightful session. Seeing the way you were able to replicate these things. So I have a question. I don't know. I know some other people here might have questions, but I think I'm just going to go first. So how were you able to get those artifacts? Did you model them yourself, or you had a 3D modeling designer, or they were open source? Like how were you able to get as much artifacts to replicate those scenes?
Exactly. So there are many. So there are different open source projects. There's a Syrian open source project called Al-Aus, and we connected with the guys in there, asked them if we can use their materials, their references. They already modeled the artifacts. And then I had, for example, to connect with more 3D designers through, for example, Sketchfab, connecting with people who already worked on Palmyra, on cultural heritage, connecting with them, if they're inviting them also to join the project, and bringing these monuments in 3D and adjusting them for mixed reality and the HoloLens, and also adding different decorations and ornaments to them. Exactly.
Awesome. That's great. I don't know if anyone has any questions for Zaid before we let him go. I think we're already 3 minutes past our time. So if you have any questions, you can just unmute and let's hear it. Or you can use the chat instead if you prefer that.
Of course. I also shared here my contact details with you guys. So yeah, let's connect on LinkedIn and stay in touch. So if you are interested more and more about mixed reality in general, so I'm more than happy that we can bring things together. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Zaid, for having this session with us. We look forward to having a lot more sessions with you, hopefully workshops where we can really get hands on and work on mixed reality projects and see them come to life. I think no one has any other questions, so I think we are just going to let you go here. Thank you so much again for joining us, and we really appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Yeah, thank you very much for having me. It was really an awesome experience joining you guys. So I really enjoyed it. So maybe we can come up together with awesome projects, hackathons, workshops together between Berlin and Nigeria. So I'm very interested also in your community, guys, what you are doing in the student ambassador program by Microsoft in Nigeria. So let's definitely stay in touch. And it was awesome to be virtually with you. And yeah, thank you very much.
Great. Thank you. Before we let Zaid go, his links are in the chat section. You can connect with him on LinkedIn. You can check out his GitHub repository, and you can also email him if you have any other mixed reality questions. I think we'll be calling it a day here. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Cool. Thank you, and hope to meet soon.
Yeah,
Cheers.
thank you. Yeah.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone. Yeah, bye. Thank you.